groovy.
Groovy. Well, is it groovy? Is everything groovy at the moment? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Small Screen Stories. Now, I wasn't actually going to do a show today because I've been really struggling with hay fever, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it a rest for today. But something happened that I think I needed to address. I needed to do a little story on this today, here on Small Screen Stories. This isn't an April Fool's. This whole thing isn't an April Fool's. I really thought it was, but it isn't. So at the moment, I'm without my producer, James. So we're not going to have like the mad... I'm going to try and do some clips, but maybe not. Because a lot of this, what's going on at the moment, is absolutely insane. It's something that I really didn't expect to happen, to be honest, to be completely honest with you. But before I get into that, welcome to Small Screen Stories. You can follow us everywhere at Small Screen Co. on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be wonderful. And also, let me know what you guys think of what I'm going to be discussing, which is that Ava DuVernay, her New Gods film, and James Wan's The Trench DC movies are not moving forward anymore at Warner Brothers. So this comes from The Hollywood Reporter. And it is absolutely insane. Before I get into it, hello to Reese. Hello there. I've got too much stuff to go over today, like with this news in particular. So I'm not going to do all of the clips. And James isn't here today, producing the show. What up to that boy Steve? Yeah, April Fool's. Well, this definitely felt like an April Fool's joke, but it isn't. EJ Bass is in the comments as well. Sup, EJ Bass. And then Anne Sarnoff is pranking us. With one of her Hamada jokes. Very good, very good. Reese already has a theory. He says, I have a theory that New Gods got cancelled because Tom King wanted it to connect to the Snyderverse. Well, let's get into all of that. So this is from the Hollywood Reporter. They do this Heat Vision thing, which is their kind of scoops game thing. Ava DuVernay's New Gods, James Wan's The Trench DC movies, not moving forward anymore at Warner Brothers, which is insane. This is an exclusive. The terror of the deep and the fire of Acropolis won't be felt anytime soon. Warner Brothers and DC Films' upcoming slate is moving forward without Ava DuVernay's New Gods and James Wan's Aquaman spin-off The Trench. So this is the quote I wanted to read out. As part of our DC slate, some legacy development titles, including New Gods and The Trench, will not be moving forward, Warner Brothers and DC said in a statement. We thank our partners Ava DuVernay, Tom King, James Wan, and Peter Safran for their time and collaborating during this process, and look forward to our continued partnership with them on other DC stories. The projects will remain under their skillful hands if they were to move forward until the future. In the future. This is weird. Like, this is such a weird statement for them to make. There are so many reasons. Basically all the stuff that goes on here is I will talk about what Ava DuVernay wrote on Twitter. She actually said, Tom, I loved writing New Gods with you. And then she put a photo of herself with Tom King. I'm upset that the saga of Barda, Scott, Granny, Highfather, and the Furies ends this way. Diving into Kirby's fourth world was the adventure of a lifetime. This can't be taken away. Thank you for your friendship. And remember, Dark Side is. Yeah, Dark Side is. Hashtag Dark Side is. So she seems really pissed off, and she is completely right to be pissed off. It's like it's really, honestly, this really is mind-boggling that they've done this, because this really was the Hamadaverse. This was going to be the Hamadaverse, and the fact that, like, literally the James Wan picture, the Trench, was going to be what Walter Hamada wanted the future of the DCU to be, which is smaller, more. Or at least have some of this smaller horror-based movies, such as The Trench, not such big budgets. The fact that he's not doing this with James Wan's moving away from it. Like, they're not. They do say it could happen in the future, so they are leaving the door open for it. But let's be honest, they're not going to do anything with these anymore. Why is that? Well, I'm pretty sure the reason is the numbers that the Snyder Cut is doing. It's doing ridiculous numbers, and these projects weren't going to align with the Snyderverse. Like, New Gods was going to have a completely different version of Darkseid in it. It wasn't going to be the same version that people saw in the recent Snyder Cut. So I really think the release of the Snyder Cut has truly thrown a spanner in the works, because for Warner Brothers now, they know that people are liking this film. They know that people are responding to it. It's literally, they got rid of the trending section of HBO Max, for God's sake. Everything is absolutely crazy over at Warner Brothers and Warner Media. But this is very much, I do think you have to look at this from like a Warner Brothers and HBO Max. They're separate in this instance. This was going to be a cinematic release. It might have come to HBO Max at some point, but it was going to be released in cinemas. New Gods was going to be huge for them. They got Ava DuVernay on. She's a brilliant filmmaker. She's terrific. Yeah, her latest film didn't do so well at the box office, but like she's won. The fact that they managed to get her to do this was a giant coup for them. It was a giant coup for Walter Hamada as well. So the fact that this isn't happening, that she's now moving away from it, she sounds pissed, like genuinely pissed about this. Like honestly, I cannot believe the stupidity that's going on at Warner Brothers at the moment, because. And then you align this with Ansanov. I'm just struggling to keep a grip here, because you align this with what Ansanov said in that god awful interview she did with Variety, where this was literally what they were moving on to. That they were moving on to doing more stuff with James Wan. They were going to do the Ava DuVernay New Gods film. Now, again, she was writing with Tom King. So Tom King he's a comic book writer. He's done some brilliant things. New Gods, they were tackling it together. Maybe they just weren't able to do that script, to write the script. Maybe that's the problem here. Maybe they just weren't able to get the script right. Okay, they've been working on it for a while, but honestly, if there's a will, there's a way. And at the moment, like, it just seems like there's no will, and this is a huge loss for specifically Walter Hamada, because especially with The Trench, because The Trench really was his idea. That was his baby. We're getting The Flash coming out in November 4th, 2002. 2020, and yeah, fine. Then we got Black Adam coming out in 2022 as well. Shazam's coming out in 2023. Then you got Blue Beetle, Batgirl, Supergirl, the Green Lantern Corps series, Static Shock, Zatanna, a third Wonder Woman film, and then you've got all the stuff that's coming from Bad Robot. So it seems as though they might be really leaning on that. They got the Batman coming out as well. So they have got other stuff coming out, but New Gods was really going to be a massive thing for them. Getting Ava DuVernay was huge. James Wan's The Trench was an indicator of what was to come, really, from especially the Hamadaverse, kind of smaller, more horror-based, smaller budget movies. So cancelling it to me seems really strange. So again, it goes back to the fact that there is literally a civil war going on at Warner Brothers. People don't know what to do. I'm going to get rid of that. People really don't know what to do as far as the future of the DC Comics movies is concerned. Everything that's going on now seems completely reactionary. They've seen the numbers that the Snyderverse is, that the Snyder Cut is doing, and they're panicking. Again, this is a typical Warner Brothers thing to do, is that they're panicking. Now, I've heard some people saying, could this have come from the top? Could this have come from AT&T? Could it come from Jason Kilar? Honestly, I don't think so. I really don't think this came from them. I think this is literally just a reaction to the fact that the numbers have been far greater for Zack Snyder's Justice League than they imagined. And then them being like, oh my God, what are we going to do? How can we make sure that people don't get too confused? Then it must have been a complete nightmare for Ava DuVernay, who was probably originally told, I'm pretty sure she was.
Hello there.
Yeah, and James has just joined, so I've got my producer back. But yeah, so she was obviously told from the beginning of this project that this was she could do basically what she wanted with these characters. But the problem is that Zack Snyder's Justice League's now come out. AT&T wanted that to happen. That all happened after Ava DuVernay was first hired to do this. So that put her project in some sort of jeopardy, because then people are going to be like, they're going to go and see New Gods and going to be like, wait, this Dark Side's different, and this character's not the same. What's going on? This doesn't align with the last thing we saw, which was Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, and then you got Ansanov talking about wanting to have a connected universe. So literally the only thing they can do is cancel these projects and say, we've got to restore the Snyderverse. That's literally the only thing they can do at this point. They've got to bring back Zack Snyder. They've got to get all these other projects that's coming out. The Flash, it can still be connected to, and it probably still will be connected to, Zack Snyder's Justice League in some way. They're still saying that Justice League is canon, but it's gonna make some sort of sense. I mean, to be honest, Aquaman doesn't make any sense as far as as far as Zack Snyder's Justice League is concerned, mainly because Amber Heard's accent is completely different. I'm not going to go on about that again. But yeah, so it's just there's a whole lot of things to work out. The trench probably would have been very different as well. Honestly, they could have done the trench. I really don't get why. That to me really goes to show that Walter Hamada's in some sort of difficulty at the moment. It seems as though they really can't just work out what's going on with him. Why cancel the project that I think, and I've been told, is his baby, was the Trench movie. That was the film that he really wanted to get made. James Wan is his guy. You know, they came up together. They did all their Conjuring films together. That's how that's how James Wan became like a big Hollywood producer and a big Hollywood director. Really, he came from the Saw movies, and then he went and did the Conjuring films, and then all the other film or horror films that he did, and he produced that. Those were produced, most of them, by Walter Hamada. So it's a really weird situation we're in. I just want to have a look at the chat to see what's going on.
Knock, knock.
Here we go.
What's going on, man?
Have you not heard?
No, I woke up 2 minutes ago.
You just woke up. Well, Ava DuVernay's New Gods and James Wan's The Trench have been cancelled. And
Why?
It's not an April Fool's.
It's not an April Fool's.
It's not an April Fool's. So they're basically saying that they're just not moving forward with it. They thanked Ava DuVernay, Tom King, James Wan, and Peter Safran for their time collaborating on these projects, but they're not going to continue their partnership. So they're saying they could move forward with it in the future, but honestly, that's just a bullshit statement.
I think everyone's abandoning ship now.
This is what I think. This is you're getting this live. Literally, I think I saw Sil and Mikey were talking about it on their show, and I'd seen the article before, and then I had to do an article. I had to write about it on small screen. I saw that they were talking about it. Mikey was like, "I'm getting calls right now from people." So it's just, the whole thing is just absolutely insane. I really do think this is problematic for the Hamadaverse in particular.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Yeah,
did you miss me?
You know what I did? Everyone in the comments is missing you, so I think they're pretty glad you're back.
No, I don't think so.
They do.
I don't think Danzig is even here.
Well, I mean, Reese was very upset that you weren't here. But yeah, so people in the comments are saying that here Reese has a theory that, I did highlight this before, that New Gods got cancelled because Tom King wanted to connect it to the Snyderverse. So that could be very possible. But I think it's actually the opposite. I do think that that they were told to begin with that they could kind of do what they wanted with these characters, and then Zack Snyder's Justice League did really well. So, which I don't think they were expecting. I really don't think Warner Brothers was expecting that Zack Snyder's Justice League would do as well as it ended up doing.
I think all the talent is pissed off at the execs right now.
Yeah, I think Ava DuVernay, she released she posted a tweet on Twitter, which is where you post tweets, and she sounds really annoyed about it. Like, she sounds like she wanted to do this thing. She was writing with Tom King. She said, "I loved working New Gods with you," and it's just like. Upset about I'm upset that the saga of Barda, Scott, Granny, Highfather, and the Furies ends this way. This way. It's I think again they pulled another stunt where they literally told her, like, probably today or yesterday, that this wasn't going to happen anymore. Honestly, the shit that's going on at Warner Brothers is just insane. It's one of the worst run companies in the world.
Win-win situation.
It's a lose-lose situation, man. Seriously. So like people going, man, this company has no direction. They don't know what they're doing. Warner is a chicken without a head right now. Honestly, I think that's what's happening. People thought it was an April Fool's prank. Yeah, people did think on Twitter, they did think this was an April, which would have been a terrible April Fool's prank. It's like, a movie's not happening, guys. That would have been awful. But it is genuinely nuts. I mean, EJ Bass in the comments says it's nuts. You guys are all right. Like, it is absolutely insane. And the John McIntyre puts up I just imagine the offices at Warner Brothers are filled with people frantically running around like chickens with their heads cut off. That's the feeling from everybody.
Somebody's getting fired.
Yeah, and then Ava, actually, this is true. Ava even tweeted before the news that she wouldn't mind working with Ray Porter in the future, and Ray Porter also tweeted about it as well. So, I mean,
Yeah, they're all sticking by Zach. I think.
yeah, I really think. I mean, someone says I don't think Ava likes Zach. I'm not sure if that's the case. I really don't know what's happening. I think this is more Ava versus Warner Brothers. Like, I don't know how involved Zack Snyder is in all of this. Like, I think it might be to me. It might. Yeah, someone. Yeah, Reese missed you. It might be. It sounds like it's more a reaction to the popularity of the Snyderverse, and them thinking it'll be way too difficult for us to kind of really try and distance ourselves from it now, because general audiences are going to be confused. Like, if you have two versions of Darkseid. And like it's gonna be bloody confusing. That's the
what I've really been hoping for is that like this has all been a PR stunt, and Warner Media has just been playing the bad guy to hype up the hype and the fans and everything, and then they were gonna announce it and stuff like in a week or so. But this is not happening.
Like, I mean, you might have. Honestly, I cannot believe that they've done this, because Ava DuVernay is one of the best directors working in Hollywood now. They literally they had such a great talent. James Wan. I mean, what does this mean for Aquaman 2? You know, like he was gonna do the Trench.
So, yeah,
they take that away.
He's gone now. He's gone. That's what happened.
He's not gone. It's just the Trench is not happening, which was the film he was going to make, which was going to be like one of Walter Hamada's little Hamada burgers. You know, a smaller, smaller budget in kind of comic book movie, a horror-based comic book film, which is something that he really wants to happen. To be honest, I do like that idea. I really like that idea. I thought the idea of the Trench was actually not a bad one. But what the problem is that they just don't know what they're doing. They've got too many irons in the fire at the moment. One of the problems with DC in general is that they just announce everything far too quickly, far too early. And I mean, you'll never see that at any other company in the world. Like, they literally announce a shit ton of projects all at once, and then everything ends up getting cancelled. Like, you could number the amount of DC Comics movies that have been cancelled over the years. It's a lot. And it goes to show that they've got no plan. They've got when it comes to planning and kind of trying to come up with some sort of universe and connected universe, it's just been a complete and utter disaster.
Someone's getting fired.
Yeah. I mean, first off, I do not think Hamada's contract will be extended beyond 2023. I think they'll probably get rid of him before that. I wonder if Ansanoff's going to go. I wonder if Toby Emmerich's going to go. They're the three names at the moment that people are banding around, being like, this is terrible for them. What it could mean is that AT&T will step in and just say, right, well, you know what, we're going to take over. We're going to release the Ayer cut on HBO Max. It's a no-brainer. Let's do it. We're going to get Zack Snyder to come in and just steady the ship for as long as he can, and just continue with this stuff whilst we get everything else sorted in the back row, behind the scenes.
That would be smart, but do you think the Eagles would allow that?
I think AT&T would. I don't know whether Warner Brothers would. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, I really do think it's come to the point now, especially this looks terrible because both of these directors are they're people, they are from ethnic minorities and as well, and they're literally the two projects that they cancel. It's like, it's just a PR nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. And releasing this on April Fools, it's like, are you
and this is legit. This is not them trying to be funny.
No.
All right.
No, it's not. It's
who called the shots? Who fired? Like, who canceled these?
It's Warner Brothers and DC. It's a statement made by Warner Brothers and DC.
Oh.
So this isn't AT&T, this isn't Warner Media, it's Warner Brothers and DC. So it's literally Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada.
What about Sarnoff?
Sarnoff will probably be involved in some way or other, but the two people here, the key people that have decided to take this decision are this Emmerich and Hamada.
That's nuts, man.
By the way, if you guys want some Hamada Burger t-shirts, you can go over to hamadaburger.com. Very good website, James.
Wasn't that a thing before I went to bed or something?
What, hamadaburger.com?
Yeah, someone made that up, or
Someone made that up. Yeah, you should all go there and have a look. It's a really cool website. You got there are some cool things to purchase there, and I'm pretty sure they'll become collector's items now. Because honestly, I really don't see, like, apparently, okay, one thing, apparently DuVernay remains in the DC fold and is currently working on the DC series Naomi for the CW. It's like oh, all right, fine. We'll give you that series.
that might be just contractual obligation, and she might just go through the motions if she has to. You know what I mean?
Here it is. Here it is. There you go. Go over to hamadaburger.com.
Yeah.
We're not
episode
affiliated.
sponsored by hamadaburger.com.
Yeah. Well, the last one was. But honest, the shit that's going down, and I'm swearing a lot tonight, but it's one, because I'm tired. I've been sneezing all day, and two, because it's an absolute mad story. It's actually they think we're idiots. They think that the fans, they take them for granted. They literally, Ansonov comes out and outs all of them as being a toxic fandom. Then literally, I was really excited for Ava DuVernay's New Gods. I thought that was going to be a really interesting movie. And then they go and do this. I was really excited for The Trench, because I was thinking it's going to be an interesting film. That's an interesting way to take comic books, to movies, to bring them into a kind of more horror-based area, lower budget. Like, again, I said this the other day, one of my favorite comic book movies of all time is Logan, and that's a smaller budget movie, more R-rated, more adult themes in that film. It was a good idea, but like, what are they doing? Like, why are they suddenly panicking like this? Why are they such a reactionary company?
This is a big power struggle. Like what you wrote about last week about the Civil War, and then the Flash film, and then now this is just amped up. This is up to 11 now. It
really is. Like, and then what does it mean for the future of the DC Comics like movie universe? Because not many filmmakers are going to want to work with them.
I think you're right. I think they need to save some grace and just go with the friggin' Snyderverse and the air.
Yeah, I really.
Smart, but they're not smart executives. I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, honestly, like people in the comments are very, very, very confused by all of this. I mean, yeah, it could be that they're freeing up space for the Snyderverse here. Again, who knows what they're doing at the moment? How much money has Warner Media wasted with all these developments?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a fact.
So much money they've wasted on all of this. They canceled Snyderverse because it was too dark, so they could make dark movies.
Yeah,
make cheaper dark movies was what they wanted.
Wait until the stockholders' reaction hits.
This will be bad. This will be bad.
The stocks going to plummet.
Which is crazy because stocks were high for AT&T. After the Zack Snyder's Justice League, then they went and pulled out.
I have a clip of the stocks actually going down. If you look at the background of where is it here? Yeah.
So we are in the process having many conversations with the talent, the agents, and the exhibitors to try to work through how this can work and be good for all of them.
See, I need to add Ava DuVernay and James Wan to that clip now.
Yeah, like, again, what does this mean? I was thinking this earlier. What does this mean for the future of Aquaman 2, which was going to be one of their big films? Seriously, Ava DuVernay, she's made some incredible films. Like, I'm blanking on the name of the one that, what was it called again? Oh God, I can't remember now. I'm gonna have to again. I have been literally in bed all day, so do bear with me. I need to look this up because I'm Selma. That was from I was trying to remember. Selma, and then she did Wrinkle in Time, which didn't do so well, but 13th, which is a really good documentary on Netflix. You should watch that. She's fantastic. She genuinely is a fantastic director. And it was a massive coup for them when they got her, not only directing it, but writing it as well. And you want to promote, like, this is the kind of director that you want to promote. It's the kind of director you want to work with. Like, what are you doing? Like, seriously, Who is in charge? Nobody. Right. The people in charge need to go. I mean, yeah, I do agree with some people in the comments saying A Wrinkle Time was a bit meh, but Selma was brilliant. Like, Selma was genuinely brilliant. And she's someone that really wanted to do this. She was really excited about this. She literally wanted to work with Tom King, you know, the one of the most incredible comic book writers around. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so disheartening. I don't think she did The Hate U Give. I don't think that was her. Someone said in the comments, didn't she do The Hate U Give? I don't think that was her. I think she might have produced that movie, maybe. She did the film she directed, I Will Follow, Middle of Nowhere, Selma, A Wrinkle in Time, and then she was the executive producer of White Tiger, the White Tiger, which came out pretty recently, actually. So she didn't do the Hate U Give.
AT&T stock dipped at 10 in the morning, and then it went back up at around noon, and now it's ended at now it's at a high right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably mainly down to HBO Max. Like, because HBO Max is still doing well. People are going there to what, and Godzilla versus Kong just came out.
Yeah.
So that'll be good for their stocks, because that film's doing quite well. So I mean, and the Snyder Cut's still doing really well as well. So, you know, there are things that are happening, but this is specifically to do with Warner Brothers and the problem that's going on at Warner Brothers inside that and inside DC Films as well. They're going around like headless chickens at the moment. Like, AT&T needs, someone in the comments says, Baron says, AT&T, wake up, please. They need to wake up. They really need to wake up, and they need to sort this out, because
pull rank.
They do. They need to pull rank, because they own the company now, so that it makes them look bad. It really, I was thinking about this earlier. The fact that it's these, you know, Ava DuVernay and James Wan's projects that are being taken away from them is terrible. It just looks so bad. It looks so bad for the company, and it was released on April Fool's Day. The whole thing is just, you could not write this. I mean, someone at the Hollywood Reporter did, but you know what I mean. This is something you couldn't come up with. When you woke up today, like,
James Gunn is gonna do. No.
James Gunn's not going to do another film with Warner Brothers.
But we all knew that. But I wonder what is. 2 hours ago, he's promoting his trailer and saying something.
He wasn't just promoting that; he was promoting Godzilla versus Kong as well, saying it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
So
being worried about monsters fighting or something.
Yeah, saying there wasn't going to be enough monsters fighting in that movie. Yeah, there were a lot of monsters fighting in that movie, and Dad Boy Steve is always Team Godzilla. He did contact me on Twitter about that, because I said I'm Team Kong. But it's just, the whole thing isn't Godzilla versus Kong a legendary production? Thought Warner Brothers only gets 25%. You're completely right. Yes, it's almost entirely funded by Legendary. It's distributed by Warner Brothers. So
he doesn't want to be attached to a studio that has all this problems with the Snyderverse and the way they're treating the talent. And you know what? Like, he was treated so well at Marvel, even after like his tweet debacle. Marvel Studio says, "Look, we're gonna fire you, but as soon as we get the merger with Fox, we don't want to ruffle any waters. So as soon as we get the merger with Fox, we'll hire you right back." Yeah. And in the meantime, he's like, "Okay, I'll go to Warner Brothers and I'll do a superhero movie for them. I'll make some bank." And then it's like he just walked into a hornet's nest. So there's like a 99% chance I think he'll never go back to Warner Brothers.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think he's ever going to go back. I mean, I've heard people saying that he just wants to go and do his own stuff after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and be more independent. And even maybe I've heard he wants to set up his own company, his own production company. I think he might have one already, actually, but I've heard that he wants to do more stuff with that. He does a lot of he writes a lot of projects. And then there was the kind of the indie horror movie that he wrote a couple of years back, that then where it's all set in a building and everyone has to kill one another. It's a very James Gunn production, but he didn't end up directing that film. He gave it to like a young Australian director, I think. I can't remember what the name of that movie is.
We kind of saw the writing on the wall with that, with some of the reactions from WW84, and then Disney Investors Day with Patty Jenkins being hired for Rogue Squadron. So it was kind of, I mean, and see this talent, the directors, the writers. Imagine working that's like working in a toxic work environment with psychologically manipulating bosses and two
That's
different
what it is.
companies. Yeah, and two different
That's-
companies fighting with each other inside your workplace. No, I don't think anyone would want to work there. So
No, and this has been happening for so long now, and it's now just it's more and more public. It's becoming more and more public. So again, you're completely right. What's gonna happen with Patty Jenkins? I don't think she'll. I mean, if they've paid her quite a lot, so maybe she'll do it because she's paid quite a lot of money. But I don't. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see her back out of Wonder Woman 3 at some point. Again, she's directing a Star Wars film now, so she's got that in the bag, and I'm pretty sure she won't get fired from that. They won't fire her from that. This is something that Kathleen Kennedy's wanted for quite some time. To have
I gotta
her
do this for Reese. Sorry, because you said Star Wars, and he said he missed me.
Hello there.
And and again, yeah, TJ says this in the comments. Ray Fisher wasn't lying. He wasn't lying.
No, but
He wasn't lying. This does go quite a way to prove it. Well,
yeah. I don't want to get into that, but I just like, why would he? You know what I mean? Why would he be so passionate about it? And why wouldn't they disclose the investigation, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that they're hiding at Warner Brothers. I mean, they don't want this to come out. They don't want this stuff to come out. They didn't want, like, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but they didn't want my article to come out. So, and it's they can't really do anything to me because I'm not I'm not going to go into why they can't do anything to me. I'm not a publicly traded company. That's one reason.
And you don't want to tempt that.
No, but honestly, everything that's going on at the moment is just absolutely mad. Wonder Woman 1984 was a film that this is another thing. They really, really promoted that film.
What's up, JLS?
Hey, JLS. They really promoted that movie. It came out. It was rubbish, but they still gave Patty Jenkins a third film. And then, I mean, literally every decision they've made in the last 6 months has been wrong. Every decision you could possibly make has been wrong. The easy way out of this would have been to say, yeah, we're going to let Zack Snyder do his thing on the side, probably come to HBO Max. We're going to release the air cut that will come out on HBO Max. The easy wins, really easy wins. This Ava DuVernay, New Gods, and James Wan, The Trench thing, if it really wasn't working out, which it seems as though it wasn't, they probably would. The script, I have a feeling that Ava DuVernay just couldn't crack the script. As far as the New Gods one's concerned, I don't know. They've been working on it for such a long time, but I have a feeling that might be an issue. And then I also have a feeling that the Snyderverse is an issue for them as well.
I have a question for you, Edward.
Yep.
Okay. So what you're suggesting is, first of all, watch your ears. So how, hypothetically, if they did take the smart route, which is, I think it's it could be very difficult for them to do this. If they did just say, okay, we need these easy wins with the Snyder Cut and the Ayer Cut, and continue this Pocket Universe on HBO Max, and get some faith from the fans. Hypothetically, how hard do you think it would be in the internal struggle at AT&T and Warner Media, and especially since they just canned Ava and James Wan there?
Yeah.
How, in your opinion, in your thoughts, how difficult do you think it would be for them to pull that off?
Just to release to continue the Snyderverse?
Get the easy wins, yeah. Because you think that would be the smart play, and I think it would be too. But I mean, this is WB we're talking about, right?
Do you know what the smart play would be? I said this before. The smart play would be for AT&T to just say, "Look, we're going to pull rank. We're going to fire you. It's been a complete disaster. It's been a complete PR nightmare. So we need someone to be fired. The most logical person to fire. Many people will probably say that it's Toby Emmerich, but the thing is, Toby Emmerich has been taking very much a back seat in all of this.
Yeah,
publicly.
It would be Sarnoff.
It would be Sarnoff, and then probably Hamada. Those two, I think, are in very, very dangerous waters right now.
Okay, but how feasible is that scenario?
I mean, for them, they're the parent company, so they own them. So ultimately, whatever Stanky says kind of goes. This would be massive. It would be a big thing for them to do, but they're probably not going to do it. Let's be honest. They're probably not going. They're probably going to let Warner Brothers sort it out themselves. But really, the smart thing for them to do at this point, if they really care about this, and if they really see any sort of longevity to the DC Comics films, at the moment, what's happening is it's getting very dangerously similar to what happened to the Westerns. Like it just ended up becoming a complete mess towards the end.
Yeah.
And that you don't want that. Like Marvel will not want this. This is the other thing. Marvel will not want this because it's bad for comic book movies in general. So one of the things they might end up doing is I think AT&T will come in and pull in rank and say, look, let's just give easy wins. Let's just say we're restoring the Snyderverse. Let's give the fans what they want. Let's say we're releasing the Ayer cut on HBO Max. Give the fans what they want. And let's hope that this gives us enough faith to just move on, and then people hopefully will forget about the Ansanoffs and the Walter Hamadas, and then they can just get on with their work like they were doing before.
What's up, Sil? I just woke up.
Yeah, so it's like honestly, and
okay,
it's just
but
insane.
This is why we've been hearing the last couple of days that there's even a better chance of the Snyderverse coming out.
Yeah. Now I think there's a much better, especially with Dwayne The Rock Johnson coming into the whole thing as well. There's a much better chance of the Snyderverse being restored than ever before.
Yeah. Everyone hit that like button, man. Everyone hit that like button, hit subscribe.
That'd be great if you could do that. Smash that like button and subscribe, please. Get us to 1,000. We just hit 500. Our next goal is 1,000. Right. We want to get up there with Sil. We want to be on the same level as Sil.
This is for Sil. Everyone hit that like button.
Welcome to Super Team Megaforce. I am not Edward Lauder,
and this is also for Sil.
And I do think that moving forward, there's more opportunities for us to do things like this. And really, it at the end of
I think he's talking to Mephisto in that clip. It's so red and eerie.
Hey, why are you even reporting on this? Aren't you supposed to be signed with Marvel for Cap Britain now?
Oh yeah, I heard that today from Geekosity. That was great. I still haven't heard from Kevin Feige though, so I think you jumped the gun on that one.
Hey, what's up, Kansas?
Пошли, все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства? Cocainum.
We know when you're back. It's like it starts off without you in the show, and it's very kind of me reporting the news and being very serious. And then you come onto the show, and all hell breaks loose.
Corey Batten is in the house. DC Talk is extended. He's extended and in the house.
But this is very interesting. That the day that Sil was literally announced as the new president of DC Films, and then all this stuff happened. So maybe Sil's head's got to roll.
Yeah, maybe this. You know what? Maybe this is their last power play before Sil takes over.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
This is their last. This is their last card. This is their joker in the pack.
Everyone's gonna go over and work at Hamada Burger.
Yes, exactly. Everyone's you'll eat it and you'll like it because I say so. Organically sourced, made with 100% bullshit. I wonder who wrote that. Brilliant stuff. But yeah, so that's the news. That's the big news. I wasn't actually going to do a show today because, again, I said I've been I've been suffering with hay fever. This hits me once a day, once a year. I really get a bad day.
Have you ever baled hay?
I have actually. Well, I haven't, but I haven't baled hay.
You've been around hay?
I've been around hay, yes.
I used to bale hay every summer with hay fever. Get hives and my face would be swollen. And I get allergies every day. You know what?
I just have it once a year. It's fine. It's nice.
You're fired.
But yeah, I mean, what's going on? Who knows? Honestly, who knows? I have Mikey did say he's going to do, take some calls with some people, see what's happening. But honestly, I think at the end of April, I think we're going to see some big changes inside Warner Brothers. I'm hoping that we're going to see the restoration of the Snyderverse. I really hope this is good news for the Snyderverse. Like in that sense, if there's any good news to come out of this, then that could be it. But really, ultimately, I really do think this is bad news. Just for comic books and comic book movies in general. Like, it's a terrible look.
Oh my god, did this just broke? Did you hear this?
What?
We have 59 viewers and only 29 likes. We're 30 likes short, people. Come on.
I mean, if you like, please don't dislike. Apparently, YouTube's going to get rid of the dislike button. That's going to be a weird thing.
Oh, that's a shame.
But yeah, so
I'm not shooting on you.
in other news, apparently, am I going to go into this? Apparently, Tom Cruise is going to do a scene on the moon for his new space movie. I don't know if you saw that today, James. That
makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah,
it does. I mean, where is he? It's like all franchises. Where do they go next? Oh, I guess we go to space.
He's already filming in the International Space Station.
So
it's not that big a jump to go then to the moon. It's pretty close.
You lie!
And then James Bond Jr. is happening. The franchise was announced by Barbara Broccoli today. Yes, that's big. That's big stuff. That's going to be awesome as well. Interestingly enough, of course, they're April Fools. If you can go on the site now, they're April Fools jokes. But the James Bond Jr. one, people genuinely believed.
You sent that to me, and I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about this.
I know.
But it's not. I could see them actually doing that. MGM trying to ramp up their IPs again because they're kind of floundering.
But that is a genuine IP as well. I used to play the James Bond Jr. game, and I watched the series as a kid. So it was an animated series. And one person contacted me being like, "Ha ha ha, Barbara Broccoli, nice one." And I was like, "No, Barbara Broccoli is a real person."
Yes.
She is actually in charge of the James Bond franchise. I just see people thinking that's the joke in the article. Right. Ava DuVernay is going to be fired. Well, she kind of already has been, unfortunately.
What's up, Cisco?
What's up, Cisco?
No, he said going to be fine.
Oh, going to be... Oh, again, I cannot read. My eyes are terrible right now. But yeah, she's going to be fine. She is going to be fine. But this is a blow to her because I generally think she wanted to do this. Like, she was really pumped for it. Her and Tom King were talking about it on Twitter. Tom King was excited about it. So it's just a shame. It's like New Gods is such. It would have been cool to see New Gods and Eternals, they're quite similar, and it would have been interesting to see how Marvel does it and how DC does it. It tends to happen.
It's like two Jack Kirby films on the big screen. I would love to see that, so
it would have been so good. But
sassafras, just go to small-screen.co.uk and go to geekossimag.com.
Yeah.
Read the articles on those and read between the lines. But it's really good complementary reading between the two sites because you can actually get you can see where the through line is and all that, and that'll give you your answer.
Yeah. But again, and actually, Dan Zig in the comments said this on Twitter. He's literally just copied and pasted his tweet. April Fool's Day is a great excuse for sites to make up BS ludicrous stories. Some sites, it's just another day in the office. I saw you tweet that earlier, Dan. But yeah, so Gunnar Moose in the comments is asking if there's a new DC person. There isn't a new DC person right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if there will be in a couple of months. Someone else at the helm. The way this is going, and yes, Dan, it was a good joke. It was a good joke.
I got something for Danzig. Hold on here.
Wish I held onto a little piece of that thing, because the buzz is any indicator. That movie's gonna make some huge bank.
What buzz?
The internet buzz.
What the fuck is the internet?
The internet is a community.
That's literally that was literally what. Oh, he's gone. That was literally taken from inside Warner Brothers Studios. Like, that was a genuine conversation that was had. Right. So this news. I'm talking now to the people that replay this. If you do let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Do also, I'm going to end it here basically because this was a story I wanted to talk about. Thank you very much for watching and listening, because I will release this later as a podcast. You can find it as a podcast at Small Screen Stories. You can follow us at Small Screen Co. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can follow me as well if you want at EJ Lawser on Twitter, and you can go to the site which is at small-screen.co.uk.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
I don't know if Annie's okay. I don't know if
Steve Katan for Big Will.
And Dad Boy Steve says I should contact Tim for my hay fever. I think I know how he deals with hay fever. It's not the way I deal with it. Yes, and if you could smash that like button and hit subscribe, that'd be wonderful. That'd be really, really cool. And also go and subscribe to everybody else. Go and subscribe to Sil's channel. Go and subscribe to TiVo's channel, Lords of the Long Box. Go and subscribe to James's channel. It's what's it? Cut 42 cut. Is that right?
Super Mega Team Force.
Is that what it's
42
called?
Cut Com.
42 cut com, and then I don't know if we're going to do a Super Team Megaforce this tomorrow, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens.
I don't like. There's so much stuff, but we're supposed. Oh, WB and DC is not letting us do it every 2 weeks. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know. But then again, if TiVo talks about any DC stuff anymore, I think he'll explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have a great Easter, guys. It's Easter this weekend, so eat lots of chocolate. Don't eat too much, maybe. But
don't eat the turkey. Have a Hamada burger.
And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, guys, and goodbye.
Oh, is that it? We're done.
Yeah, we're done. It's a short one today. It's a short.
I just have one quick question.
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do the thing for me?
Yeah.
There's lots of clicking at the moment. Come on, end the show.
What?
Groovy. Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства? Кокаином.
Bat thirst.